This is a WISN 12 News Project Community Special.
A crime crisis for teenagers in the Milwaukee area.
The darker blue hexagon on Milwaukee's police crime stats map, the more cars taken in the last year.
How would you describe the stolen car problem right now in Milwaukee?
I would describe it as out of control.
Every week this year, a teenager has been shot, killed, or arrested.
It is unreal to have so much violence involving our kids.
They are mimicking behavior we as adults sometimes are showing.
Wisconsin has the dubious distinction of having the highest black male incarceration rate of any state in the country.
For decades, the nonprofit Social Development Commission has assisted and advocated for Milwaukee County residents living in poverty. The agency abruptly shut down Friday, laid off the last of their staff, and said they were unsure they'd reopen.
Most every day in Milwaukee, we hear stories of kids stealing cars, firing guns, driving recklessly. These young people are on a destructive path. But offering a detour is a Milwaukee County program called Credible Messengers. It's been around for the last 3 years. The idea is to pair a kid who's either referred by the justice system or by the community with an adult who's been there, an adult whose job it is to care. These mentors from these 6 local groups work with youth as young as 12 and up to age 22. For about 6 months, they make sure the young person goes to school, has groceries, gets tutoring help, whatever the kid needs to get back on track. And for these Credible Messengers, it's a labor of love.
To me, this is the best thing that could have happened in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, because now nobody's working in a silo. Oh man, if I tell you like this, you probably gonna laugh at me, but the way I look at it, it's like Power Rangers. Every Power Ranger has a different ability, a different skill set, right? They gotta come together to create the ultimate fighter or the ultimate person to get them through whatever it is they gotta get through to make whatever it is better, right? So I'm the director for Youth Advocate Programs Incorporated. We deal with at-risk, high-risk youth. I just help get families connected with advocates that can help them with the resources that they need. It's a tough task, but we do what we can every day. And we work off the 4 principles here at YAP, basically. How can I help you? What do you need? How can we work together as equal partners, right? And what can you do to give back? All that stuff goes together.
Milwaukee has brought a succession of expertise to truly create what's called an ecosystem.
In 2021, we started with a cohort of community-based organizations. We gave each of them a caseload of youth who were on some type of community supervision. And what we saw in the pilot phase was that 77% of them did not reoffend.
When it comes to the Credible Messengers program, it really aligns with our vision and mission when it comes down to being the healthiest community.
We saw these young people with an improved self-esteem, an improved relationship with their parents, a disposition and an attitude that was much more positive in their own ability to see beyond the next day, the next year, and see goals for themselves.
You got some outstanding people in this city who are truly trying to move the process forward. So creating a unified collaborative of expertise that is being driven by collective protocol while respecting what each of the individual organizations do. That's rare.
We doing stuff like taking kids to the laundromat, making sure their clothes wash, helping them find jobs if we can. Just trying to make sure we building off the strengths that they do have. I'll take them with me to go pay bills, stuff like that. There's no end of the day, right? Till the phone ring or whatever, because my ringer can't be off. Honestly, in most cases. He needs a tutor, but it's math, and I'm gonna hit you with this other one. Spanish.
When they call you for those, you can't just be like, today I'm off. And in those dire situations, if I leave you hanging in those situations, it might be a life or death matter.
What do you say to critics who contend that we're essentially, at taxpayer expense, paying to do the job of a parent?
What I would say to those critics is to look at the state and the condition of our communities. The disinvestment that we've seen in the neighborhoods that these young people come from and many of their families is the result of taxpayer funds and the decisions being made with them.
If we know that we have the opportunity to invest upstream, make a difference in these young people's lives, why not do so? Because it's going to cost us a lot more money to either incarcerate them in the juvenile justice system or incarcerate them within the adult system. Because they're not just our future, they are our now.
So today we're just barbecuing, putting some hamburgers and hot dogs on a grill because the line gets kind of long, just so while they're waiting, they can have a meal. Credible messengers are justice involvement. They're referred to us from Milwaukee County. Once they come into our program, we do transformational change for the youth. We do the food pantry, we get them involved in the community, and then we do many rewards for the justice involved youth to let them know that we know you changing, because we don't want people to feel they have to go lie, steal, or cheat in order to be blessed. And we'll just help them maneuver through life. Life is rough, and people need help maneuvering.
I got in trouble with the law a couple times, in out of jail a few times. It's not fun, it's not cool. It's really depressing because you ain't got nobody behind there and you just locked in a cell between a bunch of strangers you don't know. Who knows what's gonna happen to you? I'm 25, I've been here since I was like 23. I just like being here. I can't explain it really. It's just safe, it's fun, it's different. It's like the only area where you can actually feel safe, truthfully, and that's sad.
One of the things I will say about Milwaukee is resource rich. We're operating with structure. We're operating with professionalism. This is not relationship-driven engagement. My people are strategic specialists. They go into a situation to identify, to manage, to control, and then to stop the retaliatory engagement of what that situation will normally bring. That has to be done with structure and strategy.
You gotta try to isolate the mob. How do you isolate the mob? You gotta find out who's supposed to be fighting. What if you can't find that information? Then what? You gotta throw it, you know what I'm saying?
Questions, class. Questions. Each of your slides will be on the board. Explain to me exactly what your role is and what we're going to do.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Do I have y'all permission to speak?
Yes, indeed.
And do I have y'all permission to teach?
Yes, indeed. Now, we'll stop. You guys. Damn!
Outside we go.
Come on, y'all.
Oh, he just ran.
These are real situations. Probably was getting reward.
On this day, in the middle of training, crime interrupts the lesson. A stolen car crashing into a curb right outside at 13th and Vliet.
I saw one run this way, and I saw one run down.
These kids are brilliant. They use USB cords now. They'll never respond that fast. Hey, I can say if they coming over here, I know they quit. Somebody make a 911 call. I can say they don't let that. Somebody probably should call, but somebody call.
As police chase down and eventually arrest the suspected thieves, the credible messengers use the backdrop as a real-life example of how to respond.
We have a situation here where it was a hit and run. Person jumped out the vehicle in real time. So I need for y'all to understand this stop formula. I'm going to lift it up.
We never know what we're walking into. It can go from words to fight to gunfire in a matter of seconds.
You're in danger every day when you do this job. You don't get a bulletproof vest and a gun.
When I was growing up, people came to knock on my door to say, hey, you want to come outside and play? Or, you got permission from the parent, and when you did that, you understood where you're going and things like that. Parents don't even half the time care about where their kids are going or where they're even at for the most part.
I remember full playground with activities galore and people around, and you couldn't cuss without the neighbor 2 doors down telling on you, you know what I mean? It's that piece, and we've gotten away from that, and I think we're looking at the results.
Part of our program is this. We give out these what they call public education materials, and on these pub beds, we talk about what we do as a program, but also where we have information on where the community and the people can get involved as well. The young people can get involved. How you doing? Doing well. We just in the community doing the Lord's work. That's it. We bring those skills from our various partners and resources, and we put that team around, then we call that social capital, and we give them social capital. And that way, that as they're moving off the survival scale, and the lower end of it is death and incarceration, and the other end is being alive and free.
Hey, y'all.
My family was one of the largest families in the projects. I'm the oldest of 14 children. Fortunately, I had a community that believed in me enough and rallied around me to be able to send me to college and be able to come back into the community and really work with each individual.
Y'all got kicked out of school? No, I'm just messing with you.
So if it's a group of youth on the corner, you know, at a school building, we're gonna hop out and talk. Hey, how's it going? What's going on? Y'all in school? Y'all suspended? You know, just kind of get that ease, and then you can kind of gauge that temperature. What are they here for? A lot of the youth will just walk away.
How y'all doing, man? Hey, you looking like, whoa, what's up? Man, shake me up, what's up, man? How you feeling, bro? You good? You know I'm chilling, man. It's all love, baby. These folks ain't used to that. They affiliate everything with police, everything.
It takes a village to raise a child. But on the contrary, that same child will burn the village down just to feel its warmth.
Don't start living. Don't tap in.
Don't tap in with us. You know how we coming.
This generation is a direct product of what we developed.
Back on the news. Back on the news. Yeah. You know, papa. Oh, you gotta tap in, man.
The first thing I do when I deal with my young adults is I apologize to them. I apologize to them for what we did not provide them and what we did not give them to guide them in terms of a master plan and how to move forward. Our youth today are under such a different narrative than when we were coming up. Hell, I could go back at least just 10 years ago. It's a whole different dynamic.
The influence out here is crazy. And I'm not even gonna say it's the music and all that. It has something to do with that, but it's really the social media and what kids feel like is normal and what they supposed to be doing. Because they want to hear, shoot them up, bang, bang. Pop them up, slang, slang. That's what they doing, so.
Most of those people are harmed or hurt in some type of way, and they're trying to create some type of resiliency to deal with that hurt that they're feeling. But at the same token, they're going to lace that with a degree of bravoism because they don't want people to know that they are hurt. And this is why it's so hard to stop that anti-social behavior, because they're getting satisfaction from these things. They're getting a certain degree of wellness that from a societal perspective, they're not getting.
Some of these kids you walk and get in their space, not the physical space, but you're there with them, and they're just waiting to tell you what's going on. They're waiting to tell you what's going on with them. They just need a face, a feel, a vibe to get that out.
How was school today, bro? That's my first question. You know that. You good, baby?
I'm good.
Well, you know I'm good, man. What you been on?
No, I'm just showing my brothers today.
I learn from these kids and these families every day. Every day I learn. So I'm not going to a youth and just giving them direction. I'm actually listening. Sometimes it take a little longer for me to warm up to you, but as I'm understanding you as a person, the youth and the family kind of gravitate to the work that we provide and the services that we provide. I hope I ain't lied to you. No, I do got it. I know I had it. This is the Wi-Fi indicator to let you know everything is functioning. It's the same thing as your router in your house, it's just smaller.
Oh, it's like a little box right
there. You go. Simple as that. And if you need help, you can call me or you can call your advocate. You know his phone number. Like I said, I'm gonna go to the school, I'm gonna see how you've been performing, and we're gonna go from there, bro. All
right, man.
Nothing but love, just call me.
One of the young people helped by the program, Daquan Buchanan.
Chaz is like a big brother. He understands me, you know what I mean? Like, we could be talking, and then we talk like he my brother. He my mentor. It's crazy because he my mentor, but he understands me like he one of my siblings. I had it hard, I'm gonna be honest, I had it hard. My mom had a CPS case, so a Child Protective Services case. So they was looking for some resources to get me down a different road, like push me down a different road. I'm gonna be honest, my dad and my mom, they've been back and forth to jail, like my whole life. I actually never knew my dad or my mom, I'm gonna be honest, because they always been in jail. So I was with my grandmother, but my grandmother had passed. I ain't have no guidance,
You know, like I didn't have anything really. I didn't really know what to do, honestly. So I'm gonna be honest, I was out in the streets, but luckily I didn't catch a case. That's the only good thing about it. I didn't catch a case. I didn't get my nose dirty. I always kept it clean. Cause it was just me. I didn't really want to go down a different route. I always knew that I could be a better person than what I was. When I first heard about the program, I didn't want to do it, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't want to do it because it was like I didn't need no help, because that's how I felt. I didn't need no help, but they sent over Chaz. I think he was telling me like the same thing, like we're not here to make your life harder. We're not here to push you down the wrong. We're here to make you better.
What did it feel like when you finally had adults who cared about you?
It felt good. It felt good because really I never did have nobody that cared about me. It always been like I cared about myself. So once I seen that somebody cared about me and cared about the decisions I made, it made me change the choices that I was making. It made me change it.
A lot of these families and a lot of these youth understand the word no. They've been told no all the time. So they don't see the light.
They're so used to being misused. They're so used to people not checking on them. They're so used to people not aiding and assisting them in any kind of way. So when you show up and you want to help, it's like, oh, do you really want to help? Or, you know, who sent you?
If it wasn't for them pushing me to keep doing it, I'm gonna be honest, I probably would have never continued to do it. I'm gonna be honest. That's why I'm glad for the program. I never thought I was gonna work a job ever in my life. I'm gonna be honest, I never thought I was gonna work a job. It's crazy how I came about from being a CDL driver, because I'm like, why would I drive cars? I can work on the cars. I do everything to the vehicle. I clean the vehicle, so I can paint the vehicle, I can weld things on the vehicle, the inside, and I can detail the inside and the outside of the vehicle. I be putting stars in the roof. I paint the ceiling.
In 2023, we looked at the caseload of all of the agencies, and we had an additional agency that was added on just for girls called Glow 414.
So the activity is disguised. What we're going to do is read a story. We'll do this one together. Because again, I'm gonna have some small group work, but
I just really look over my life. I was one of like the disrespectful kids, and it was this guy named Bob Johnson from Northcott Neighborhood House that no matter what I did, he still was like supporting me. He still was like trying to edge me on to do different things, and I wasn't killed or taken out or in the system. It really brings the light to me, because I'm just saying to myself that I could have been one of the youth, but I wasn't, so my testimony will be able to assist.
What do you think you get from Shantae that you might not get from anyone else?
Cause like usually like my other workers, they just work with me too. They have to, like that's their job. But like Shantae, we got a little connection because I've been knowing her a little longer than the rest of my workers. So I was in and out of the detention center for stuff like stolen vehicles, assaulting people. Shantae, anytime I'm going through a crisis, she come de-escalate it. Like she could come to my school and stuff like that to prevent stuff like that.
What do you hope to be? What do you hope to do with your life?
I want to own a clothing brand. When I was younger, my mama took me and my brother to a lake, and we was like making little shirts in the sand, putting sheet shells on it. My mama was like, our clothing brand name gonna be Offshore. So I want to start a clothing brand, and I want to name my clothing brand Offshore, because that's what my mama made our fake clothing brand name. My consequences may not be the same as they was as I get older, and I got more better stuff to look forward to. And I'm a girl. Some of the stuff I was doing, it wasn't very cute, ladylike. I'm better than that.
Why do you have hope?
Because I know that I could be something.
And then also Sam put us spoken to Not Alone.
I was doing some work in Chicago, Illinois. One of my youth was murdered. It was like he wanted to be the guy, or, you know, like they see me, you know, and when you act like that, you do that, and you play with weapons, people want you gone. You know what I'm saying? So when he got murdered, it kind of touched me to the point where it was like, man, it's too much. Like, what can I do to keep everybody I deal with safe? I felt like it was something I could have did to keep him from dying that night.
One of the most detrimental things in our community is the lack of that worth. Because if I have a perpetuated self-hate, then guess what? When I see myself in other people and I don't like myself, I'm going to subconsciously not like you.
It's saddening on a daily basis because when you get those calls, it's like, okay, I got this situation going on. I can help you. I might get another call where I can help you. And then another person might call me where it's something that's over my head and it's like, hold on, let me see what I can do as far as with getting you the extended help that I can't provide at the time.
It takes everybody in that community. It's the village approach, it really is.
And what drew you to this work?
Trouble. I had to be maybe 17, 18, was looking at a substantial amount of time, and I had a judge that really took a lot of mercy on me.
A lot of my friends and things like that growing up, you know, they had their issues and their times and stuff like that, because to this day I know people that are incarcerated for different things and stuff that they did that were my friends growing up. I actually got caught up in some stuff, you know, not to say I did real jail time or things like that, but run-ins with the law.
Milwaukee is a broken place in a sense, you know, and me, myself, I come from a broken home as well. Majority of the youth that we deal with on those caseloads, they come from broken homes too. So we may talk to them and we may identify with them in that way, but we don't want them to stay in that same sunken place, and we want them to know that just because you come from this environment, that doesn't define where your life is going to go.
I think that's the secret sauce, you know, is that we do have, you know, mentors who've walked those paths. That gives an opportunity for our young people to attach to them, be able to look and learn from them, because they may not have anybody else in their life.
Do you ever get too close to kids, and is that hard on you?
Extremely. Extremely.
Lost some?
Yeah. You start to see these youth more than you see your own children. You start to see these youth more than you see your own families, and they become a part of your life.
Most of us are in this work because we're dealing with our own trauma that we didn't have answers to. I wish I could so easily say, coming in and telling somebody to put down the gun and stop this, because at the end of the day, this is going to get you in prison, might get you death. They're far past that point. What they're looking for is a degree of wellness.
Them losing each other is huge. A lot of the violence and the things we see is caused from them losing people that they love, whether it's a grandmother, a best friend, a cousin that you know what have you, and they can't process that. So they hit the streets. And I'm gonna take my pain out on the first car, person, building, you know, whatever I see. Or you got the self-medicators. I just don't want to feel it.
If it's so hard, why do you still do it?
Because who else is? If I quit because it's hard, the next person, my staff, or the people that work around me see how easy it is just to give up. What if we all just gave up?
It's spiritually rewarding. Of course, I've worked other jobs before, and the key word I said was jobs. I don't feel like this is a job. I feel like this is a calling. I feel like you're chose for this. It's gratifying, but it's also heartbreaking at the same time. Like this shouldn't be my job. I'm an educator at heart. I shouldn't have this particular space, you know, but I'm okay because it's purpose. You know, they say that the two best days of your life is the day that you were born and the day that you find purpose. And the day that I found purpose was to know that every time my feet hits the pavement in our community, I know that I'm living out my purpose.
My quote is that your circumstances don't have to be your mark. So I want every youth to understand that whatever you're going through or the trials and tribulations that you have been through, it don't have to be the mark that leaves on you. You can be able to glow somewhere else.
I had people who seen my potential, who seen the power in me, and that's why I'm able to stand here today as the first African-American and youngest person to be county executive. And we need to look at all of our young people through that same lens. Our young people deserve an opportunity, and there's no reason why we shouldn't be investing in them every single day.
I don't want to go back. All the younger kids that you got the opportunity to get in this program, take it, because like it's a good program and it's gonna push you to do better in life. If you don't got the opportunity, like if it's not offered to you, seek for it. I want to prove to my daughter that it's way more to life. I want to prove to my daughter that she gonna always have somebody by her side.
We can't give it up. I wouldn't give up on my child. I wouldn't want anybody to give up on my son, so I'm not gonna give up on theirs no matter where they are in life or what they got going on.
It costs taxpayers roughly $450,000 to send one young person to Lincoln Hills, the state's youth prison, for a year. Meanwhile, Milwaukee County is spending $3 million a year on this program, which is helping 130 young people. And last year, 78% of them did not reoffend while in the program. Thanks to our partners at No Studios, and thank you for joining us.